Okay, parents, welcome to Safely Stow. My name is Brian Hunsberger. I am the founder and developer of Safely Stow, and I'm going to walk you through how to get started with the app. And it should be a pretty short video. It's all pretty simple for you. First thing you're going to do is download the app off of the App Store or the Android Play Store. Just Safely Stow is all you need to type. It should come up first in your search results. And we're going to go ahead and create an account. And I'm going to use our generic Safely Stow email. The nice thing about the app is it will persist your credentials. So as you use the app, if you use it relatively regularly, when you open the app, you'll still be logged in, which is really a very nice feature. Enter your first name and last name and your phone number. And the most sensitive part of the whole app is this facility code. And this facility code needs to be the facility code of the facility who asked you to download and use the app for check-in, correct? So you just need to enter the code as they gave it to you. In my case, it's Bristol. And when you hit create account, it's going to ask you to confirm that it's correct. If nothing comes up, if you get an error, obviously you spelled it wrong. If it comes up and it's a different facility, you have the wrong code. You're going to hit submit and your account is created. However, we still need to verify your email. So once you register for your account, the first screen you're going to see is sort of this ugly bummer of a screen, which is telling you, hey, we need you to verify your email. So in your inbox, you're going to see an email similar to this one. And all you really need to do is just click this link and it'll take you to a website and it'll tell you, hey, we verified your email. And all it's checking is to make sure that you're a legitimate human being with a legitimate email address and you gave us the correct email address. So much of the system is revolved around the correct parent picking up the correct kids, and we figure we better have the correct adults signing into the account. So once you've done that, you verified your email, all you need to do is just refresh the app and then you'll be in. So now we're in the app. And actually, one more thing before we get to that. If you don't see an email in your inbox, check your junk mail or your spam folder for that email. It's most likely there. This whole service, the authentication service, is managed by Google, and they're pretty good. So the email went out, and generally, because it's coming from Google, most emails are not getting filtered into spam folders or junk mail folders. So most will just go directly to your inbox. But it's still possible for things to get filtered. So just check your junk mail or spam mail folder, and it most likely will be there if it doesn't show up into your main inbox. Other than that, it very well is possible that you entered the wrong email address as well. So double check the message on that screen that pops up to make sure you entered the correct email address. And if you did enter the wrong email address, just go ahead and create a new account with the correct email address. Last thing, it might take 2-3 minutes for that email to come through, maybe as many as 5. Just be patient, wait for that. But like I said, this is managed by Google. They do millions and millions of these every month. So the email went out. It's just in your spam folder, or you entered the wrong email address most likely. The next thing we want to talk about is child records. And you as the parent are the guardian of your kids, so it's only natural that you would be the owner and the creator of your child records in the Safely Stow app. So in order to create your first child record, you're just going to click this plus button, and that's going to give you the option to enter the information for your kids. So I'll enter my son's name. And the facility code is already defaulted as the facility code that you signed up for. And if there's particular programs that your facility uses, choose the program that your son or daughter is enrolled in or attends most regularly, and then your relationship to your kids. I'll go ahead and add 2 kids. And there, I've added 2 records to my app. And you can see on the facility view, I think it's always fun to look behind the curtain and see what your administrators will be seeing on the facility side. They get a full list of all the kids that are in their program, and you'll see the kids that you are either have created yourself or the kids that you are an authorized pickup person for. So I'll show you that functionality here in a second. Checking kids in at the beginning of the day or the activity, or checking kids out at the end of the day is really very easy. So let me walk you through it. So once you have your records added and you arrive at the facility at the beginning of the day, if you're going to check in your child, you'll click once to show that you're ready to mark present. If a child is not going to make it that day, you still want to communicate that to your facility, so you'll click twice to show that you're about to mark the child absent, and then you just click submit. If your facility has one, announcements or a health agreement or a checklist or what have you may pop up that you'll just agree and check in, and then your child is either checked in as present or checked in as absent. So here we have Hannah is present, Sam is absent. I'm going to go ahead and switch Sam back to present, and you can always double click on a record and edit these fields if you need to manually make a change. So now we have Hannah and Sam as present, and at the end of the day, when you arrive in the parking lot, your facility will have different ways that they like to do it, but one common way to do it is when parents arrive in the parking lot, they just click once to show, hey, I'm here, we're ready for pickup. And depending on the age of the child, they may dismiss the kids from the classroom as the parents arrive for the kids to go out into the carpool line or what have you, or they may personally escort kids to the classroom or to the car. Depending on your facility, again, they may just mark the child as dismissed. So they'll mark as the child is picked up, or they may ask you to do that, and you'll just say, hey, I'm ready, and when the child arrives in the car, you just click it one more time to show that they're picked up. It really depends on the facility's desires and their needs. They may want to mark the kids as picked up as they bring them out, or they may just ask you to do that yourself. It just depends on the size of the facility and their different practices. But the drop-off and the pickup are just a few clicks and really very straightforward. Sometimes it feels like it's so easy that it's hard to remember that when you arrive at the facility, check your kids in, and when you arrive for pickup, let the facility know that you're outside ready for pickup. Let's talk a little bit about who is authorized to pick up your kids each day. It's important for you to communicate with your facility who is going to be picking up your kids at the end of any activity or at the end of any particular day. And that's really easy to do with Safely Stow. For pickup, currently, because we just created this record, there's only one person on the list. But let's go ahead and add another person who can be authorized to pick up Hannah. Now, obviously, that person needs to have an account with Safely Stow, so they have to have created an account. And in addition to that, they have to have had unlocked their data. So your data is secure. It's not available for other people to just see and access at any time. So if you need to be added as an authorized pickup person for another person's child, or a spouse, if a spouse created the account and your child, and you want to be an authorized pickup for your child, your spouse or your neighbor or whoever needs to have access to your name and your phone number and your email in order to make you an authorized pickup person for that child. So you need to unlock your data to give them access to your data to be added as an authorized pickup person. And it's very complicated to do. You're just going to click this green unlock button. So you just unlock your data, and now your data it's just your name, your email address, and your phone number has been populated on a table that users have access to add you as an authorized pickup person for children. So now your data is unlocked, and if you're going to add someone as an authorized pickup person for one of the children in your list, you need to ask them to unlock their data. And then you also need their email address. So we're going to add a user to Hannah's authorized pickup person list. And to do that, we're just going to enter the email. Brian at safelystow.com. and we can add him to the list. So now you can see that Brian is added as an authorized pickup person for Hannah. So we can switch between Brian or Jamie picking up Hannah any given day. All right. So if Grandma from out of town is going to pick up Hannah, and you don't necessarily want her to have to download the app and go through all of that for just a one-off pickup, you can use a special instruction and just say Grandma is picking up today. Her name is Grandma. And you can put in that special note. And that gives a little bit of an alert to show that it's a special pickup that day, and we have special pickup instructions for the facility to see that, hey, it's a little bit of a different issue. Double click on the record so that you can see, for the facility side, double click on the record so they can see who is picking up or what the instructions are to be picked up that day. And there you can see you've got special custom instructions. Grandma's picking up today. Oh, I spelled grandma wrong. Now, as you are working with pickups, it could be possible that you aren't the person who's typically, and here I was trying to check out this record and I was not the pickup. It could be a situation where you need to change who the default person is who usually picks up. Let's say that in this particular case, Jamie is not the person who typically picks up at the end of the day. Brian is. Well, you can go into the record, and you can go into the record by just double clicking, and you just choose the change default user, and you can change that to Brian. So now every afternoon or end of the activity, Brian is typically the person who's going to pick up, so he's typically the one that's designated as the pickup person. So you don't have to change it every day if you have a general rule. If you just have one person who's picking up just today, but you don't want them on the list as always able to pick up, you'd like to remove them, that option is there as well. You just double click in the record and just choose from the drop down. Oops. Now this is particularly important. I'm glad this actually happened. Jamie is the record owner. Brian is set as the default pickup user. So you can't delete anyone. Brian is set as the default pickup, and we can't delete him, and you can't delete Jamie because she's the record owner. So we're going to put the default back to Jamie, and now we can go ahead and delete Brian as a possible pickup person. So those instructions are there. That's not something you need to remember, but that is an important detail, that if a user is set as the pickup for today, the default or the record owner, they can't be deleted from the list. I'm glad that happened, so I can clarify that. Another nice feature of Safely Stow is the ability to leave and receive notes from parents. So if Sam has a particular situation or a note that parents need to leave for the facility for that day, for instance, has extra diapers in his backpack, you can submit that note to the facility, and then they'll have a little note icon that shows up as a current note that they need to read to see. The facility can also leave a note, and actually I'm going to go back to the app and I'm going to close this screen so you can see the icon that comes up. The facility can leave the note back and say, Sam used every one of those diapers today and some. And they can leave a note, a little status report or an update or whatever. And this note does grow. You're not restricted to one line, so we can keep leaving more details. And the note has no limit of text. So if you need to leave a very long note, that's completely available to you as well. So when the facility submits that note, you can see that there's a confirmation that it was sent today, and then the parent gets an alert that shows that, hey, you got a note from the facility regarding Sam today. Once you've added kids to your records, one of the first things that would be fun to do would be to add pictures for those kids. So, depending on your facility, one of the functions that are available to your facility is to verify with a photo that they're dropping off, they're giving the correct child to the correct parent or guardian or authorized pickup. So it's real easy to add a picture. All you need to do is just click on the plus button of the child photo, for instance, and you'll just choose from the gallery or take a new picture with your camera. Because I'm on an emulator, I'm not going to go ahead and do that, but it's very straightforward. You're just going to choose from your own phone's gallery or your own picture and then upload the photo, and then that'll show up on here. If the photo doesn't show up instantly, just click once on the record and the photo will populate on there. And then the same for your record. All you have to do is click on the bottom part, add a photo from your gallery or your camera, and you can upload the photo, and you're good to go, and you'll have photos on the records.